What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about an app I've been using for quite a while now. It's called GuruShots and it's a game that's on your phone. We enter competitions based on photography categories. So someone might make a competition called street photography, so you'd submit your street photography photos, people would vote on them, and then you can win prizes and things like that. Now the prizes are usually things like extra bonuses in the game and things like that. But there's quite a few little issues with the app that I don't like that pretty much doesn't reward good photography, which is a little bit annoying. Now, I've been playing the game for a while, it's pretty fun, and at the end of the day, it is a game. But again, I don't think it rewards good photography, and here's the reasons why. So basically, when you upload a photo to a challenge, what happens is you have an exposure meter, and that exposure meter basically means how much your image is shown throughout the voting process. Now, in order to make that exposure meter full, you have to actually vote on images yourself, which is good because it forces people to vote on images and not just dump their images in a competition and then leave. So I think that's really, really good that you have to vote in order to get your own images out there in the competition. The problem with this is that I've noticed your exposure meter only grows if you positively vote images. So if you negatively vote images, so you're scrolling through while you're voting, you don't like an image, so you negative vote it, your exposure meter doesn't grow. It only grows when you positive vote an image. Now the problem with this is that people are just going to continually positive vote images whether they like them or not, just to fill their own exposure meter. So in my opinion, I think that your exposure meter should grow whether you positively or negatively vote an image, because at the end of the day, that's fair voting. Otherwise, you're more inclined to just go on there and positive vote everything just to fill your own exposure meter. As you can see on my screen recording here, as I'm positive voting, you can see the exposure meter grow, but if I negative vote any images, the exposure meter doesn't grow at all. My second issue with the app, which is a common issue with a lot of apps, is that people with money are always going to progress further than people that don't have money or don't spend money on the app. So you can buy things like recharges to basically fill your exposure meter. So like I said in my earlier point, you can grow your exposure meter by voting on images, but the other way is by purchasing like a power up that allows you to just hit a button and it fills your exposure meter. The other bonuses you can buy in the game are like bonuses to swap your images in certain competitions, to boost your images exposure and things like that. Now I know the developers need to make money, and of course that's entirely fine, but at the end of the day, it helps people that want to spend money on the app to progress further than someone who doesn't want to spend money on the app. So again, I don't think it's rewarding good photography, it's just rewarding people that have money. Now in saying that, when you do participate in a lot of these competitions, you do win a lot of those power-ups for free, which is really good. Now I don't think, from memory, I don't think I've spent any money on the app, but I have got a lot of those little power-ups just from entering certain competitions. Yeah, so it's kind of good, but I don't know. Of course they need to make money, but I think there should be another way they could make money rather than that, because again, it's not rewarding good photography. The third point that I've come across is that I've noticed, as I mentioned before, you can swap images throughout the competition. I don't think all the competitions allow you to swap images, but some of them do. Maybe they all do, I can't exactly remember. But when you swap an image, what I find is that it gains a whole ton of exposure when you kind of first swap it for the first, I don't know how long, maybe hour or two or something like that. Now, if you know what you're doing and you can play this strategically, at the end of the competition, you could actually swap an image, not the end, but maybe say there's a few hours left. If you strategically swap an image, you can gain a ton of exposure on that image and get ahead of what you were before. So again, I don't think that's really fair. For some reason, when you swap an image, it gets more exposure. I think what they're trying to do is any new image uploaded to the competition, it gives it more exposure just so it can get votes very quickly. But you can game the system by using that kind of thing against them. But yeah, that's another thing I've noticed, and it kind of makes it unfair as well. Another point to make is that it's really, really hard to actually see people's images in a larger view. So you might want to zoom in and check things out. You can't really do that very easily, so you're kind of stuck to looking at the images on a really small screen or a really small scale. So sometimes it is hard to vote because you're not sure. You might want to zoom in on something just to say, I don't know. But yeah, another point is that when you get higher up in the game, I can't remember exactly what level I am. I'm maybe third from the top or second from the top or something like that. I'm finding it really hard to break through those last bits. But the higher you are, the higher your voting power. So if you start off the game, your voting power might be 1. So if you vote on someone's image, it technically gives them 1 point. But as you move up, that number grows. So I think, from memory at the moment, if I vote on someone's image, they get 7, I think it is. I think it's 7 votes or something like that. So if your image gets voted on by a lot of other people who are higher up in the game, you've got a higher chance of winning. So again, it's not really fair, because if I got more votes on my photo from people higher in the game, I could potentially win just because of that. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to crap all over GuruShots. I think it's really fun. At the end of the day, it is a game, but yeah, like I've said many times throughout this video, I just don't think it rewards good photography. It just records. It seems to just reward like strategy and certain dodgy things you can do to game the system. And if you spend money, you've got more of a chance of winning and things like that as well. But it is still fun. If you haven't tried it, check it out. It's a pretty fun game. It's a good way to pass the time. But yeah, those are the things I really don't like about GuruShots. So if you use GuruShots, let me know in the comments below what you think of it. Do you agree with some of the points I've made? And yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks very much for watching.